Hey everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to share with you guys some cards that I made on World Scrapbooking Day. Well, actually, I made them all on Sunday, the day after World Card Making Day, because on Saturday I just was running around and didn't have time to get into my craft room at all. But first, I thought I would share with you guys my new favorite stamp, which is this custom design Handmade with Love by CraftyPaws stamp that I designed and had made by Joy Claire. And I was the lucky winner of their challenge about a month ago, and I won a $25 gift card to be spent anywhere that I wanted on her store. And one of the things that they have, which is an amazing feature, is that you can, pick from a whole bunch of pre-designed handmade by, or, handmade with love by, that kind of thing, or, return address stamps, things like that. But there's an option to design your own. And I was so excited that I drew this little image of my biscuit and my bandito. It's like my avatar picture, but it's like a cartoony version of my little puppies. And I designed this little stamp and had it made. She was super, super fast, and the quality is amazing. It's in a, like a photopolymer stamp. So you can put it on a acrylic block or, in a MISTI or whatever, and you can see the results. They are fantastic. Now, let me go ahead and share with you guys the cards that I made. So first of all, let me let you guys know that I've kind of lost my crafting mojo, at least my card making crafting mojo. Over the last several months, I've been working tons of hours, and I just haven't felt really motivated with my crafting. And what was really great was My Favorite Things had a World Card Making Day kind of marathon of card making. They had 4 challenges up, and they only gave 2 days to participate. And because my Saturday was blown with work, I only had Sunday. I actually only had about 5.5 hours, and I made 4 cards. I was able to participate in each of their challenges. I'm so excited. Even if I win nothing, it just got me so charged up and focused. So this is my first card. I wanted to make a card for a friend of mine who has been going through some really tough times over the last year. And I just wanted to let her know she's always so inspiring to me that I thought this particular stamp set from My Favorite Things was perfect. It's this Snuggle Bunnies stamp set, and I used this sentiment that says, "Today I caught myself smiling, then I realized I was thinking of you." And I used these 2 little critters, and I just made a really clean and simple card. I stamped these out, colored them up with my Copic markers. All of the supplies that I used, including the colors that I used on each of the cards, will be linked in the description box below to my blog posts. And then I die cut that out using a My Favorite Things cross-stitched rectangles die set. I love this die set because I think the cross-stitching gives kind of a more cozy feel than just straight stitching. I do believe it's a retired set, but if I find it, I will link to it as well. Then for the sentiment itself, I used Versamark ink and some Ranger Superfine Detail Embossing Powder. And I find this is really great. Better than a lot of other embossing powders that I've used, because that superfine grain really gets really crisp sentiments. And of course, before I did the stamping, I used my EK Success powder tool, which helps prevent kind of stray attaching of the powder because of static and whatnot. So really simple card. I just matted it once on yellow cardstock and then matted it again on this kind of orange, yellow, peachy colored card base. Those are the colors that I used to color up this little bunny's t-shirt. So I thought the whole thing was very soft and kind of friendly, and that's the point of this card. Next, I made this card because my hubby's cousin's daughter recently got married. It was a really fast wedding because she was intending to get married and was planning a big wedding for the winter, but her fiance, now husband, got called to serve. He's in the Navy, and so they just had a quick wedding, and so I decided I was gonna make a quick wedding card. And as you can see, I only used dies for this card. It was really challenging, actually, because I'm so used to stamping and coloring and whatnot. But this was great. It was a nice challenge. And basically I started with a white card base. Then I used some glittered cardstock that I had in my scrap box for probably 3 years or more. I used a silver, a gold chunky glitter paper, a gold really detailed fine glitter, and then this is more of that chunky. I also used a blue chunky glitter cardstock, and the design is actually from an MFT sketch challenge. I'll link to all of those things also in my blog post if you're interested. But the diamonds are from this MFT Diamonds die set, and I use the backgrounds as well as the top kind of more detailed lattice structure or faceted structure. And in between, so the bottom layer is the glittered cardstock. Then I put a piece of vellum so it kind of softens the background, but you can still see the glitter, at least in person you can. And then the top layer of the detailed faceted dies. And then I cut a little circle out of this top layer of glittered background. There's the bottom layer of blue glitter background. And so I think that kind of, you know, draws your attention to the diamonds right here and really accentuates that focal point. And then for the sentiment, I had this is a Tim Holtz-Cizik script celebration words die set, and they have great words. It's such a versatile die set. And they had a congrats, so I die cut that out actually 3 times, twice with white cardstock and then once with a blue glittered cardstock, just so that the blue actually shows up a little bit better. The white, I think I offset it a little bit so that you could see the blue against the gold and the blue against the gold back here. The circle die is from one of my all-time favorite, most versatile die sets. This is from Diamond Dies, and I use the 12th largest circle. There are 20 in this set. It's an amazing deal for such a huge die set. It's actually called the Dinormous Stack'ems Circle Nesting Die Set. But that was this card, really sparkly, shiny, festive, just like the magical wedding couple. Next, I did a quick Halloween card. I can't believe it's the second week of October and this is my first Halloween card this year. But I had this background pattern paper in my stash. It's actually from a paper stack called Nightfall. This is an American Crafts paper stack, and I've had it in my stash since it first came out. This is from 2013. This little spider web background piece for the background here. And I had just enough in my scrap box to do this background and position this little spider coming down as if it's hanging from this capital B. And the Boo 31 is from this Tim Holtz Alterations die that I've had in my stash. This is the first time I've gotten it out. And again, this die is from 2013 as well. But I die cut that out of more glittered cardstock. But this is slightly different. This is a coated glittered cardstock. It's by DCWV. And it's called the Classics. And I use this dark brown, almost black, as you can see here. And I love the sparkle on this. It's a little bit less than the plain glittered cardstock, but it, you know, none of the glitter rubs off, which is my pet peeve with glitter. So I die cut that out. It was a little bit wider. If you can see here, it's connected down here and there's a space between the B and the O, but I actually squished them together so that it would fit on the card base and within the background. Because I've offset the background pattern paper from the outside of the card. This is a standard A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And it's actually done on black cardstock, but I lined the front with more of this coated glittered card base so that it would feel more cohesive. So the letters and this edging, the matting that shows here, and the numbers are all of the same cardstock. And then lastly, for the little focal point, I added a little sugar skull puppy. And this is from the MFT Lucky Dog set. And I use this little chihuahua, but I doodled with a Copic multi-liner pen in the 0.3 point. That's the really fine point in black. And I doodled on the little costume onto this puppy. Really simple doodling, just some circles, some flower petals, a little spider web on his head with a little heart and some faux little bones there. And I just colored it up with my Copic markers. That's why I had to use a Copic multi-liner pen because I was planning on coloring him up with my Copic markers and I didn't want any bleeding. And I just tucked him in behind this little 3 as if he's popping up to say, boo, boo to you. And then this one, I actually even decorated the inside. I had this little scrap of the coordinating cardstock. I had this little scrap left, so I fussy cut this little spider and another spider web that's from the front pattern paper. I used the MFT cross-stitched rectangles die for the liner sheet right here. And then for the bats, just to add a little more something to the inside, I use the Diamond Dies Bats die set, which I believe is on sale right now too. By the way, if you are making a purchase at Diamond Dies, please don't forget to use the coupon code Thanks Christina for 10% off and free worldwide shipping on all orders of $35 or more. I love this set. It's perfect for Halloween. And then my last card is this one. I had so much fun with this, just designing it. It came to me and then it just came together so quickly. I used some Bristol cardstock because I knew I was going to be using some watercoloring. And what I did was I first stamped out this little puppy and the fire hydrant, which are from the MFT You Make My Tail Wag stamp set. I used this little puppy with a raised hind leg and this fire hydrant. Stamped those out. Then I stamped it out again on Post-it notes, fussy cut that out, put that on top of both little images, and then I stamped out the brick background, which is this one. It's from Doe Crafts and it's huge, so it's great for mixed media or whatever you could possibly want to do. I love it. This is the first time I'm getting a chance to use it. It made this come alive so quickly. And then I used my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers and watercolored this on. Just, it's supposed to be like a rainbow of dog pee. And the sentiment, which comes from the same stamp set, says, some days you're the dog, some days you're the hydrant. And it just makes me giggle every time I read this. And this is going to a friend who's having some rough times right now. So I thought this would be a nice, funny, whimsical, uplifting card. So those are the cards that I made in honor of World Card Making Day. I hope you guys have had a crafty weekend and a crafty day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.